plugged in over there, and that's his port.
And so it no longer works? So the phone wasn't on?
Correct.
Okay. I wonder, was he gone while I put in the new switch? It seems like I put that in a while ago.
So I went to call her back. Well, she was calling me back, but she said it was dead silent for about 20 seconds. And then rang, and I picked up. So I don't know if it's something weird is happening.
Usually when you hear that, like the with not the ding ding, when it's plugged in, generally means that I'm getting something from the switch, but it's not your problem. Let's go, Mike. And 20. So this is what we call a tone or that thing upstairs is a tone generator. And basically it generates that, you heard that dee 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 dee, so it just generates that tone and it puts it through the wires. Well, but we're getting ready to swap them out to their own PBX. So they have cloud hosted right now, and we're downsizing it and putting an actual PBX back in here. They could go cloud hosted, but they save quite a bit more money going to their own hardware. That's the problem with cloud hosted, is that you have to make the decision on whether or not your business can afford it, because it gives you a lot of features and functions. And you don't have to buy, your own PBX hardware. Depending on what kind of contract you want to go with, you may not have to do your own phones. Sometimes, if you want to lease them, you can do that. But then as the business grows, that scalability of cost compared to what you're paying for drastically increases. Because if you're looking, let's say on average, you're looking at $28 to $30 per line plus taxes, at 10 phones, you're looking at $300 plus a month. Whereas, you can save money. Again, so here the example is when you're looking at scaling, depending on how many phones you want, because you're not going to have, let's say you had 20 phones, okay? You're not going to have every single one of those people on the phone at the same time. So when you're talking about 20 phones, if you go to an actual PBX, you could go with like 8 or 10 SIP trunks feeding that PBX. You could have as many extensions as you want theoretically, but you don't have to pay for the phone lines you're not using. Now, yeah, you don't get all the features and functions depending, like if you're looking at like SMS, which is now a thing. Sometimes e-faxing can be a thing, depending. So when you start looking at some of those services, again, you just have to find out. But again, there still may be cheaper alternatives, meaning I can add on an SMS service or I can add on a VFAX service and still save a ton of money versus paying for 20 phone lines just to have that same kind of service. So that's, again, so I always look at scalability, cost comparison, and what works really best for your business so that you're not needlessly spending money that you don't need to be to get the same features and functions. So, but yeah, because like people way overpay a lot of times. And I'm like, what do you need? Well, we just need the phones. So why are you paying for all these other features that you don't need when we could scale you way back? Again, for small organizations, sometimes it still makes sense. Again, but when we're talking about the size of this client, we're not doing a ton for them right now, but like if we had a phone for every single person's entire organization, think of how much that would cost. A lot, if we're talking 50 employees, that's a lot of money. You can scale that back to where, again, we can still give them a phone, but we don't need the same amount of phone lines. Still a cost savings. I need to back upstairs now. So I don't think like a phone guy either. Kim, it wasn't broken. Nothing's broken. I couldn't trace it because it was probably already plugged in, and I literally plugged it in, booted right up, new voicemail, no problem.
Well, that computer is from like 1920.
Yeah, kind of matches the hat.
Yeah, it's about that era.
Oh, well, there's his problem. He's still on Windows XP.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Can't fix that. No, it's working, and